Om. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Yapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva bandhuscha sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vedya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Paravavahai Tejasvina Bhagitamastu Maridvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So where are we in our text?
Chapter 10, number 14.
Chapter 10, verse 14. You got it? Help us out, please.
सर्वमेतद्धृतं मन्ये जन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवान दानवा. I believe all this that you say to me as true, O Keshava. Verily, O blessed Lord, neither the Devas nor the Danavas know your manifestation or identity.
So there's lots of different layers in this. Of course, finally, Arjuna, as the universal student, is beginning to see who Krishna is. Swamiji always used to say, find out who the Guru is. I think I've shared with you at first, it was the Indian fellow in the orange robes, and then he was a mouthpiece for the scriptures, all this eloquence, and then I learned to tune up to his mind, to enter into that, I call it the thunder of silence. Later, I learned that was my own mind abiding in the self. It was a trick. I found out who Swamiji was finally. So Arjuna is beginning to get inklings of this. But the deeper meaning is this. No one who's looking for external experience or external knowledge, knowledge of facts, is going to know it. Because it's not out there. It's my very self. Shankara in Vivekachudamani says, without knowledge of the self, study of the scriptures is futile. All you'll do is get lost in commentaries and does it mean this, does it mean that? And you think of the self as some object out there, does nothing to free us. And then he says, with knowledge of the self, study of the scriptures is again futile. Why should you study the Upanishads? You've become an Upanishad. Trevor, you now have a degree in anthropology.
Yes.
So is that what taught you that you're a human being?
No.
No.
No. Already knew that.
Yeah. Did you have to read a book?
No.
Yeah. So what's the purpose of the scriptures? The scriptures are a setu. They are a bridge where the vision of the infinite can be transmitted from the teacher to the student. It becomes what's called a pramana, then, a means of knowledge. But in the end, it's non-figure-outable. It's my very self. Okay, so what, Jim? When I see that the cause of my suffering is the craving, the attachment, the aversion, the fear, the regret for the past, the worry about the future. Fundamentally, a belief in the concrete, separate reality of the phenomenal world, that it's inherently joy-giving or misery-producing. Then I get into trouble. So that's the second idea that we need to break down. First, Koham, who am I? I am that witnessing consciousness. But what is this world? This world is Krishna to consciousness. Next verse.
स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्थत्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावनभूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते. Verily, you yourself know yourself by yourself, O Purushottama, O source of beings, O Lord of beings, O God of gods, O ruler of the world.
So this sloka has the highest Vedanta. So we know the world through what the scriptures call the triputi, the triple factor. I, Jim, through seeing, know the bowl on the table. I, Jim, through hearing, know the sounds of the traffic. Knower, knowing, and know, triple factor. All objective phenomena is known that way. I, Jim, through manas, mind, know feelings, judgments, reactions. I, Jim, through buddhi, intellect, know thoughts, images, insights. How do you know you are you? Do you see yourself as objective phenomena? Oh, there's myself, I saw it go by. No. You will never see yourself as an object, but you're not unknown. That's like saying to a person, No person has ever seen their eyes, therefore eyes don't exist. No, my eyeballs are that by which everything is seen. But nobody sees their own eyes, yet you know you see. You do not see, hear, taste, touch, or smell yourself, or emote yourself, or think yourself. Yet you know you are. I am. I know. Sat Chit. And that experience is pure subjectivity, not objective phenomena. Now, what happens in the mind, technically in the subtle intellect, through inquiry into that self that I am. Who knows the water glass? I do. That's yourself. You don't get a new self. Introvert the attentive faculty, and in a mind that's quiet, investigate, see what's there. And everybody, whether you're Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Jew, Muslim, comes up with the same thing. There's no person there, but there's Purushottama there. Purusha means person, probably one of the oldest sections of the Rig Veda is the hymn, the Purusha Suktam. Have you chanted that one?
No.
Sahasra Shirsham Purusha. That's as much as I can remember. I'm old. Very ancient part. It's the hymn to the divine person, where the sun and the moon are its eyes and its kidneys are the waters, etc. But the deeper meaning, it's the great spirit, some people translate it. Uttama, very similar to the English word ultimate. Purusha Uttama means the ultimate essence of personness. Now, the Bhaktas, the Hare Krishnas, will say it means the divine personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna out there, he's Purushottama. Just like a Catholic can hold up a picture of Jesus and say, this is what God looks like. But Kena Upanishad, second chapter, third verse says, it is not that which you worship here. It's yourself. It's such a wonderful, wonderful expression because you are not just an inert it, this witnessing consciousness has being. I like to say you're not an it, you're a who. But that being that's you, beyond the body, mind, intellect, it's beyond any personal sense of self. It's the ultimate essence of what makes you a person, not the personality. Uttama Purusha, Purushottama. A fabulous word. You're a conscious, sentient entity. But in my ignorance, I think I'm a unique conscious sentient entity with all these problems. But in truth, I step back away from all the knowable and really inquire into that conscious, sentient entity. Like a shoreless ocean of being, without a form, nirmalam, without any taint or dirt. Don't believe me? And that is the ground of being, which is the ultimate cause. Everything in the universe, not your ego, not your ego, but something that is the ground of the ego, which is beyond the individual sense of person. It's the ultimate person. Any thoughts on this? It's a wonderful meditation. Next verse.
वक्तुर्महस्य शेषेण दिव्याह्यात्मविभूतय याभिर्विभूति विभूतिभिर्लोकान् निमास्त्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि. You should indeed, without reserve, tell me of your divine glories, by which you exist, pervading all these worlds.
So again, in this 10th chapter, we're dealing with that second question that Yoga Vasishtha addresses. The first question, who am I? Second question, what is this world? And the third question, how has it come about? So now Lord Krishna is going to give us some poetic language that the self is the essence of everything. Let me give you a worldly example. All electric lights differ. This is this kind of a lamp, that's an LED, that's a stand lamp. But the essence of electric lights is electricity. So this is the kind of idea that he's getting at. What is the ultimate, essential nature of everything? Going on.
Katham vidyamaham yogim astvam sada parichintayanam keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavanmaya. How shall I, ever meditating, know you, O yogi? In what aspects or things, O blessed Lord, are you to be thought of by me?
Yes. So where is God in this world? So let's flip this. One of the slogans I like to invite students to take on. Right where the trouble seems to be, there God is. Whatever problem seems to come your way, where is God in this? Where is the divine guru in this? Teaching me. What's the guru always teaching me? To love, to let go, to accept, to detach with love. Everything in life then becomes a teaching. God is in every experience. All right, going on.
विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूय कथय तृप्तहिं शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम्. Tell me again in detail, O Janardana, of your yoga power and immanent glory, for I do not feel satisfied by hearing your nectar-like speech.
Yes. So, this idea of immanent glory, when we think of the infinite being omnipresent, it is in two dimensions. The first is transcendental. The James Webb telescope is now looking back in time. It can see back something like 14.3 billion years, within a few 100,000 years of the Big Bang. Can't see earlier than that. But if we take the Voyager spacecraft and it just keeps going, it will never reach God and his transcendental nature, that which is beyond the phenomenal universe. Our senses can't get there. Our machines can't get there. But God is also immanent, meaning God pervades the creation. Vijnana Ghanama, homogeneous mass of consciousness, subtler than the subtlest, everywhere present. And so now, as yogis, we ask a very important question. Is your butt in the universe? Is it? Oh. That means God pervades you. There's no place where God's left out. So what dimension of me partakes of the nature of God? Birthless, changeless, deathless, ever the same, divine, perfect, sinless, pure, the most holy of holies. Whatever you can think of God. What is it about me that is like that? Well, it's not my body. Body's a very frail thing, constantly changing. It's not my feelings. One day I'm happy, the next day I'm sad. One day I feel enthusiastic, the next day I'm depressed. It's not my thoughts. Is this true or is that true? What about this? What about that? Constantly changing. But if you thin the mind, tano manasaha, introvert your attention and notice the self itself. Everything scriptures in any tradition say about God is true about you. Don't believe me? No. So that's the first idea. Next idea?
Your yoga power, imminent glory. For I do not feel satisfied by hearing your life giving and so on nectar like speech.
So, what is the yoga power? Another word is Maya Shakti. How is it that all these names and forms, from the greatest, the Big Bang itself, galaxies, black holes, down to the smallest molecule, a grain of sand, a flower, how does it all come about? Going on.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Hantate Kathayishyami Divya Yatma Vibhutaya Pradhanyata Purusheshta Nastyanto Vistarasya Me. The Blessed Lord said, Alas, now I will declare to you my divine glories, immanent in their prominence. O best of the Gurus, there is no end to the details of my extent.
Yes. So, before he starts listing, note this is an incredibly partial list. Where is God in all of this? Everywhere. So, this beautiful poetry about the essence of things and the divine in them. Now, what do we mean, practically speaking? So I was at the San Francisco Symphony for a chamber music concert today. The second piece on the program was a piece by Maurice Ravel, a septet, 7 instruments. And it was just sublime. This is Impressionism. So it's just this gorgeous, gorgeous music. And after it was done, everybody was just sighing. Then a standing ovation. Clap, 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 clap. Something about the essence of that experience. The music itself, the incredible skill of the musicians, the openness of the audience. And we had the aesthetics of theology. We were able to get an experience of the infinite through this beautiful music. This is the kind of thing that Krishna is going to point to. Finding the sacred in the world. Now let's start our list. Going on.
Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashayasthita Ahamadishcha Madhyam cha Bhutanamanta Evacha. I am the self, O Buddhakesha, seated in the hearts of all beings. I am the beginning, the middle, and also the end of all beings.
So, whenever we get lists in Hindu scriptures, usually the most important idea is listed first. So if you deeply realize the truth of this, close the book, go about your business. So let's break it down. The first idea, I am the self. Please,
I am the self, O Buddhakesha,
seated in the hearts of all being, right?
seated in the hearts of all beings.
So it's not that I'm going to do my yoga and I'm going to realize the self in me is God, and the self in you is an idiot. No. When you realize the self in you as that vast, empty space of consciousness, you realize the self in everyone. Our bodies are different, our feelings are different, our thoughts are different, but the self in me isn't like the self in you. The self in me is the self in you. Now, this implies a wonderful practice. If you can just look at another person in the eyes and don't pay too much attention to their body or their feelings or their speech or their thoughts, be polite, listen. But acknowledge the being looking out of those eyes. There's a conscious being. There was a poem I read once that called the eyes magic holes in eternity. Not a wonderful expression? Because the being looking out of those eyes, the conscious being, is God. Relate to that and watch your relationships transform. Next idea.
I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all things.
So, whatever has come into existence had prior non-existence, then it came into existence, and then had subsequent non-existence. Prior non-existence comes, is still bathed in the ocean of consciousness. Then a form emerges for a time, but its material cause, the stuff out of which it's made, is consciousness. And what happens to all form? Temporary. Goes back into consciousness. Where do your thoughts go when you quit thinking them? What was there before the Big Bang? Next idea.
The end of the show.
Next verse.
Adityana Maham Vishnur Jyotisham Naviram Shuman Marichirmarutamasmi Nakshatranamaham Shashi. Among the 12 Adityas, I am Vishnu. Among luminaries, the radiant sun. I am Marichi among the Marut. Among asterisms, the Moonamai.
Okay. So this is not a section to say that this is better than that, this is divine and these are not. So Krishna's looking at Arjuna and he's talked about being the self, the essence of everyone and everything. And Krishna has a big question mark on his forehead. And he goes, oh, I don't get it. So here, Lord Krishna uses the language of poetry to try to get Arjuna and you and me to understand this notion of what is the deepest, the most sacred, the most essential. Last night I went to a concert and one of the pieces was a piece for cello and orchestra. God bless the gal who had the cello solo. She's a second-year student at Cal Berkeley. And by and large, all the notes were in the right place. But today, I heard like the violinist in the Beethoven septet is the associate concertmaster of a San Francisco symphony. He's just in a different place. No blame. But he had the power to take the audience into that sacred silence with beauty. And whenever we acknowledge this essence, this ultimate, we've all had it. You go out to Ocean Beach and watch a sunset. Who's done that? You know, it's like the mad painter. And you go, it's so beautiful. Who's had that experience of seeing a sunset? Or you go up to Muir Woods or some other redwood forest and you're just overcome by the incredible beauty of those enormous trees. Or you too, have you guys been to the Himalayas? Have you, Trevor?
Yeah.
It's just incredible. They say God's everywhere, but boy, the veil seems thinner in the Himalayas. And there you are in the foothills at 5, 6, 7,000 feet, and then you see a mountain that goes up 25, 30,000 feet. Just, oh, it's so beautiful. What does it do? It stops your mind. So we get a taste of the end. So as we go through these lists, it's not saying that of all lights, only the sun has God in it. But what is the best of all luminaries? It's the sun. Oh, and the best of everything. I'm not going to go into who all these various characters are that show up in the Puranas in our mythology. No point. Going on.
Vedanam Samavedosmi Devanam Asmi Vasava Indriyanam manashasmi. Bhutanam asmi Chaitana. Among the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. I am Vasava among the gods. Among the senses, I am the mind. And I am the intelligence among living beings.
So the Samaveda is the one that's musical. So it takes the knowledge of Rig Veda and it puts it in meter and it's chanted. It has enormous beauty. So there was the Samaveda was the first. What was the next one?
I am Vasava among the gods.
I don't know who Vasava is. Is that Lord Krishna?
Vishnu.
Vishnu. Of course, he's talking about his own essence. The next one?
Among the senses, I am the mind.
Yes, because the mind is so powerful. The mind is the world is the mind. The mind is the enemy of the person in bondage and ignorance. But the mind is the friend of the woman or the man of steady wisdom who has Atmaramana, the capacity to revel in the sound. Next verse.
Rudranam Shankarashchasmi. Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam. Vasunam Pavakashchasmi. Meru Shikhari Namaham. And among the Rudras, I am Shankara. Among the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuber. Among the Vasus, I am Pavaka or Agni. And among the mountains, I am Meru.
Okay, so again, what is the best, the ultimate, that which is likely to stun the mind, that which is awesome in the best sense of that word. So the first idea was
Among the Rudras, I am Shankara.
a Rudra is a destroyer. So the greatest of the destroyers is Lord Shiva himself. Shankara is just another name for Shiva. The next idea.
Among the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth or Kuber.
So, what is it that all of us want when we want stuff in the world? When you do a puja to get something, the highest of them all is make me rich. Next one.
Among the Vasus, I am Pavaka or Agni.
These are, I don't know what those are. Agni is like that which is worshipped in the fire, the homa.
So, according to the book, the Vasus are Vedic deities presiding over the seasons, and fire is essentially one of
Okay.
the governors of the
Yes.
seasons.
And the last idea?
Among the mountains, I am the Meru.
Yes. So Mount Meru, it exists and it may be mythological. I don't know whether it's K2 or Everest. You might know. Have they identified what's the tallest mountain there in the Himalayan range? Is it K2?
It's Everest.
Everest. But I'm not sure that's what was worshipped as Meru.
No, Meru's mythological. Kailash is worshipped.
That's right. That's right. Were you going to say something, Trevor?
No.
Meru is considered the center of the universe, and it's the mountain they used for the churning of the ocean.
Yeah.
But it's also a symbol for our spine. So our spine is called Meru Danda. So it's the center of our existence,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, going on.
Uh, Urodasam cha mukhyam mam Vitti partha brihaspatim Senaninamaham skanda Sarasamasmi sagara. And among the household priests, O Partha, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Among generals, I am Skanda. Among lakes, I am the ocean.
Bodies of water would be a better way to like translate that.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we don't need to go into all the references. What is it that's the best of the best in all these dimensions of nature going on?
Maharshinam Briguraham Giramas Mye Giramasmyekamaksharam Yajnanam Japa Yagyosmi Savarnam Himalaya. Among the great rishis, I am Bhrigu. Among words, I am the one-syllabled Om. Among the sacrifices, I am the sacrifice of silent repetition, or japa.
Yes.
Among immovable things, the Himalayas.
Yes. There's some interesting little things here. So the first idea,
Among the rishis, I am Bhrigu.
so he's kind of like the Lord first taught the Vedanta to Bhrigu, who then becomes the grandsire of the lineage of all the gurus. So it's the source of all our Guru Shishya Parampara. Next idea.
Among the words, I am the one-syllabled Om.
Yes. So we get an exegesis of Om in the Mandukya Upanishad. All our rituals, all our prayers always begin and end with a repetition of Om. Very quickly, the Mandukya Upanishad sets it out. Om has 4 quarters, A, U, M, and silence. A stands for the waking state, U for the dream state, Ma for the deep sleep state, and the 4th, the Turiya, the silence, is not another mind state. It's 4th in our series of discussion. It's the consciousness in which the 3 mind states revolve. What is that? That's the knower of the waking state. That's the knower of the dream state. That's the knower of the deep sleep state. That's myself. That is the Turiya. Next idea.
Among sacrifices, I am the sacrifice of silent repetition, or japa yajna.
Yes. So, what is the best of all yogic practices? What's at the top? He doesn't say doing asana. He says japa. So we were talking before class about how difficult it is if you've got habituated flows of thinking that are non-productive, or in their most debilitating form, that they're self-harming or depressing and stuff like that. Who's gone through periods where their minds have done that? Here Krishna's saying, japa is the ritual, the austerity that will help the most. Have a sacred word or phrase. And when the mind starts down that negative flow, turn it towards your mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Shri Hanuman, Jai Shri Hanuman, Jai Shri Hanuman. Manam, 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 manam. It can be a bija mantra. Ring, ring, ring. What you chant is not nearly as important as that you chant the mantra. And when we do japa, always remember that fourth part of the mantra that we did in our exegesis of Om. Let the repetitions of the mantra always have some silence surrounding it. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya. Now, when it comes to japa, the grosser the mind, the more meditative supports you can use. You can use a mala, prayer beads. Who's used a mala when they chant? Yeah. If your mind is even grosser than that, you can sing the Lord's praises. You can, now it's so easy, put on a YouTube or a Spotify or something like that of your favorite chant. Chant along with Krishna Das or whoever is your favorite. Chant the name of the Lord. It's a great place to park your mind. On the other side, the quieter your mind gets, drop the supports. Spend more of your japa in silence. You can slow the mantra down. Oh, da, shi. There are yogis who do one repetition of their mantra in a whole day. Their minds are so slow and quiet. A wonderful, wonderful little key to practice just stuck into the shloka. Any thoughts on it?
In what way is it a sacrifice? It mentions that among sacrifices, it's the sacrifice.
Sacrifice meaning a religious practice or ritual.
Okay, so like the same way, like the offering to fires.
Yeah,
activated.
yeah. Doesn't mean to not do that. You can do homa, you can do puja to your deity with flowers and stuff like that. Knock yourself out. It's okay. But he's saying japa is really powerful. Just like he said, the sun is the greatest of all the lights. Oh, well, I don't have any lamps in my house because it's not the sun. Well, you wouldn't do that. We have lamps. Oh, they're not the sun, but they're useful. Is that helpful?
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
All right. Next verse. Or did I get all the pieces?
The one last one is among immovable things and the Himalayas.
Yeah. So again, there's the idea that it's so funny because he says that the Himalayas are immovable. Well, the truth is, of all the mountains on the planet, they're the most movable. They're the most tectonically active. But It's over eons. But the idea is you have this enormous mountain. And later he will use the term to describe the self as kutastha. Means still and established like a mountain. The weather changes on the summit of the mountain, but the mountain is still, does not move. Next verse.
Ashwatha sarvavrikshanam devarshīణam च नारद गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथ सिद्धानां kapilo muni. Among all the trees, I am the Ashwatha tree. Among divine rishis, Narada. Among Gandharvas, Chitraratha. Among the perfected ones, the Muni Kapila.
So, the Ashwatha tree. We have reference of this in Kathopanishad. We also have it referenced in Gita. This is the tree of life, which has its roots above and its branches below. So it's a symbol of everything in the world, whose origins, whose roots are in the infinite. And below, here in the world of manifestation, infinite number of branches and leaves and fruit are actions and reactions to everything. They all have their origin in God. So this is the metaphorical meaning of the Ashwatha tree. Next idea.
Among divine rishis, Narada.
Narada is cool. Narada is a rishi, but what is his great sutra that he gives us? Anybody know?
Bhakti.
Yes, the Narada Bhakti Sutra. The great exposition on divine love. Why is he so important? It's the same teaching. The self in you is the self in all. But we want to make sure our Vedanta is not just from the neck up. I was talking with a student on the phone a couple weeks ago. He has clear understanding, but he had this like fist, this pain in his heart. And it was about relationship stuff. He was hurt and angry and disappointed and stuff like that. So, to some degree, his Vedanta was from the neck up. So, we're working on seeing the self in and through the world, forgiving people, accepting people, loving people. Seeing everything and everyone as a manifestation of God. Now, here's the corollary to this. Again, I've said it so many times. It's a spiritual axiom that if I'm disturbed, no matter the cause, I'm the one with the klesha, the defilement. It's never out there. The person, place, thing, or situation that seems to upset me is a manifestation of God. If I'm disturbed, I have an attachment. an expectation, an identification. That's axiomatic. So if I can internalize that and move through the world, seeing when I'm disturbed, when I'm upset, I have a problem. I work on it. It's an invitation to do practice always. It's never about revenge. It's never about redress. Or if we turn this stuff towards our own psychology, it's never about regret or self-punishment. All that stuff is pointless because it's all based in an illusion. So Narada teaches us to love, teaches the practice of parama prema. The Master Jesus, over and over and over again, when he was asked, what's the greatest of all commandments? Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul and mind and strength. And the second commandment is like unto the first, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Well, who's my neighbor? Well, you must learn to love as God loves. Unlike you and me, God has no taste. God loves people you and I would have nothing to do with. We need to learn to love as God loves everyone. Even people from the other political party. So this is the practice of opening the heart. Love God, love the world, not with attachment. No transactional love. Transactional love is, I'll do you, now you do me. I'll pay attention to you, now you pay attention to me. I'll hang out with you, now you spend time with me. Nothing wrong with that, but that's business. The kind of prema that Narada is talking about. Love seeking nothing in return. The love itself is the blessing, the benefit. Who comes after Narada? What's the next one?
Among Gandharvas, Chitraratha.
I do not know who this is. What Swamiji say?
Uh, Gandharvas are the mythological concept of subtle entities who constitute the celestial choir. And among them, Chitraratha is the most brilliant.
Okay. Whatever. Next one.
Among the perfected ones, the Muni Kapila.
Yes. So what was Kapila's glory? I can't remember that one either.
The Muni applies to thinkers, and of the thinkers, he was the greatest because he was the author of the Sankhya philosophy.
Okay.
And because Gita follows the Sankhya philosophy.
Okay. So again, one of the things all of this invites us to consider. We don't want to be ambitious so we can get praise and glory. We don't want to be competitive so I can be one up on the next person. But we are invited to strive for excellence. Swamiji had this wonderful expression. He actually wrote a series of books called The Art of Man Making. And here, when we say man, we mean human being, not just male part of the species. But can you take this thing called the human being that you are, with your unique set of gifts and tendencies, your swadharma, and make it as productive, as useful as it can be? Now, what's difficult, just like all snowflakes are water, but each snowflake is unique. So Deepa, you cannot do Trevor. He's taken. You can only do Deepa. That's a little on the scary side, because you're the only Deepa in the whole universe at this moment right now. How can each one of us be the best version of our humanity every day? So this is also what's implied in this list that Krishna is giving us. Okay, is that it on this verse? Next one.
It's two together.
Okay.
Uchai Shravashramaswanam Vittimamrtodbhavam Vittimamamrtodbhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam Cha Niradipam Ayudhanamaham Vajram Dhenunam Kamaduk Prajanashchasmi Kandarpa Sarpanam Vasuki. Know me among horses as Uchchaishravas, born of Amrita, among lordly elephants, the Airavata, and among men, the king. Among weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am Kamaduk. I am Kandarpa, the cause for offspring. Among serpents, I am Vasuki.
So again, these are all references to various mythological things. Kamaduk is the milk cow of desire, another name for the infinite. What is it that's the best in every dimension of human endeavor and the universe? Now, does that wrap up the list? I think we're getting close to it. Is the next one saying, oh, this is just a partial list? All these lie at my mouth?
That's 29.
Okay, we'll have to quit here then.
Yeah,
What verse are we on for next week?
29.
29. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat.